Hello and welcome to another update video about LINK. So on the LINK chart, we are still primarily tracking an overall bullish scenario. Important to know for anybody who's new on the channel. If you have never seen our videos about LINK and if you're not aware of the context, the idea is that we are moving here in a potential 5-wave pattern and that LINK so far completed only 3 waves to the upside, and that 5-wave pattern started potentially here in June actually. We had a wave 1, 2, 3, and we could now still be in this 4th wave, and the 5th wave is still coming. So overall bullish primarily, and the main support area, and that's just the main support area we're using, is the $9.75 level there, the 50% retracement of the 3rd wave. And the idea is that as long as we're holding that, the focus can be on higher. So that means that 5th wave there should take us to $20 plus. The current structure suggests that we might still be in the 4th wave. That is my preferred interpretation. So obviously within this 5-wave pattern, the first question is, are we holding support? Do we get a 5th wave? That's currently the assumption, okay? But essentially the market will decide that. The market will tell us. What we can do in the analysis is to define that key support, that key pivot, and that's at $9.75. I did say, however, that we're going to use the $9.50 level, which is that green dotted line that you see there, because this is really literally the breakout point that LINK used initially, basically to break out and move out of this, multi-month and more than a year-long range in which LINK has been moving in the bear market. So LINK then, broke out, and we are following this kind of diagonal pattern. And the next question, obviously, so after, okay, does support hold or not? The next question that we're dealing with on the lower time frames is, right, are we still in the 4th wave or are we already in the 5th? Currently, I have no evidence that the 4th wave is already completed. But as you know, which I hopefully prepared you for, we expect a high B wave, or expected a high B wave, or have to expect a high B wave. At least we have to consider it. So shouldn't be surprised if that B wave here, after the 3-wave move down, if the B wave is high. That's a very similar structure to what, for example, Solana is producing. So we have to expect a high B wave. First of all, generally in a 4th wave, we have to do that. And we also have to do that if the A wave is a 3-wave structure. So that's important to understand. Therefore, it wouldn't be a surprise to get an extension in the B wave, and it seems like it wants to extend higher. I've changed the microstructure to reflect that, and overall resistance in this circle wave B goes all the way up to $18.28. So only a sustained break above $18.28 would make me assume that this 4th wave is already finished. So we're tracking primarily a bullish structure, as I said, and on the lower time frame, it's either, okay, we come down in a C wave again, but at the moment the short-term trend is up, or we are already in the 5th wave. Ultimately, a bullish scenario, and eventually in this 5-wave pattern, we would ideally expect a price above $18.28, at least in the 5th wave, okay? Before then a wave 2 pullback starts, and at the moment there is obviously no sign of a wave 2 pullback. Also, it doesn't make sense to expect a wave 2 pullback yet, because we are likely not even in the 5th wave yet. Okay, could we already be in the 5th wave? As I said, yes, but I only have some evidence for that if we break above the standard retracements for the B wave. So we've really only a few days ago entered that resistance area here for the B wave, and that's between $15.74 and $18.28. Only above $18.28, I can really say that the 5th wave is already unfolding. We just don't know it beforehand. The support area we identified was triggered already, at $12.88. It would, however, be, to be honest, a very shallow wave 4. If the wave 4 really ended, it would have been very shallow. But obviously not invalid, possible, just too shallow to be reliable at this stage. I would need additional information for that. So at the moment, yeah, trend is up short term. It takes, I showed you yesterday, this ascending trend channel on the chart, yeah, and it takes a break to the downside of that price channel to suggest that a top is formed in wave B, okay? In addition to a break below $14 and $14.67, the B wave low. So at the moment, I assume we're dealing here with a more complex ABC structure, or WXY, doesn't matter so much. And let's see if we can put a top in place before breaking above $18.28. When we get close to the top of that resistance range, I might switch my grid bot off. At the moment, the grid bot is extremely happy with exactly this movement. Remember, in a fourth wave, generally also in a B wave, we essentially we have to expect fake outs and choppy price action, in this kind of channel, in this kind of a B wave or wave 4. Fake outs regularly happen, and that's just, part and parcel of a fourth wave. That's just completely normal. But yeah, not many surprises here, or no surprise at all. Also, structure hasn't changed. The only thing that is noteworthy is obviously that the B wave is extending a little higher. But the parameters are very well defined. So, are we already in the wave 5 or not? That's impossible to say at this stage. What I can tell you is that I focus on higher prices against the $9.50 level. But we have to give it, because we are in potentially in a diagonal structure, we have to allow it the space all the way down to $9.50 if it really needs it. Yeah, so at the moment I can only say move up looks very choppy, but we have some very clearly defined levels to watch. Also bear in mind that this green line here is a very clear structural level, structural resistance here, yeah, that was formed actually in April 22 and in February 22. So that very much aligns with the 1.38 retracement, which is a key, let's say, target for such a high B wave, or at least, let's say, a barrier. Okay, that's my update about Link. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.